It's just, we're going to change that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just have something here. All right, thank you, everybody. It's 5:15. We'll start off our city council meeting with Pledge of Allegiance with Councilmember Ewer. If you'll lead us, please.
Love to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have Councilmember Harold online? I think she's going to call in, so I believe we have all of our city council. She's here, so that's great. So we'll go directly with Judge Ferrara. And thank you so much for being here. We have some swearing in with a couple city council people up here for your next term, and our newly elected council member, Miller. And if you guys could just go down there, and your honor's in charge. Thank you so much for being here, Judge. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And while you guys are walking down there, what we're going to do after you're swearing in, we're going to have you say whatever you want to the community, to family and friends that are here, and we'll take a minute or two with pictures with the judge, and that, just so you know how it will go. So.
Where would you like to, do you want me to stand here? Is this good? Right here? Okay. All right. Good evening. It is my honor to administer the oath today. And so I'm just going to say, repeat after me. So you raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Myron Navarro Gomez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and will faithfully and impartially
and will faithfully and impartially
perform the duties of the office
perform the duties of the office
of City of Wenatchee Council Member,
of City of Wenatchee Council
and
Member,
then state your position,
position at large,
District 3.
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
All right, congratulations. We'll sign these. So whoever wants to go first.
This one looks like Mr. Miller over here.
Go ahead. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Congratulations. Thank you. Did you want to say anything to your family and friends?
I'll speak briefly. I'm Doug Miller. 20 years ago, I stood before the people and signed an oath of office, just like tonight, for an opportunity to serve this community. It is a great privilege to be able to offer one's experience, and I spoke with the mayor earlier about some of the shared experiences that I have with him and with others in the community, having grown up here and spent so long serving the community as a public employee and also as an elected official. And I'm very excited to be back and provide guidance and leadership and work as a team with these men and women who, again, have stepped up to serve you and the rest of this community on behalf of the city and on behalf of the personnel and on behalf of our community at large. I want to thank you all for your service, and I'm very, very excited to be part of it going forward. Thank you.
Just want to thank, really grateful to be reelected. Want to thank my wife Jenny for her continued support. Good job, give it up over there. But really learned a lot this first term. Looking forward to learning a lot more and representing our city as best I can. And just thanks again. It's an honor. Thank you very much.
Well, I, again, just want to thank everyone for their votes, and I know I ran unopposed, but I truly believe that there is a reason why I was unopposed, and I believe that there is a reason why I'm here again. I hope and look forward to continuing to learn from the amazing people that are up here on the podium, as well as all the people that are in our community. I would encourage anyone and everyone to take the time to talk to me, as my goal truly is to listen to our community and hear what it is that we can continue to do to not only celebrate the amazing things that Wenatchee has going for it, but also continue to improve those things that we are challenged by. Thank you all, and we will be here just ready to listen, and you can engage with me on other media or phone via phone if you have any questions or comments. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Oh, you guys want to do a picture? Okay, you stay there.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge, for, appreciate it, out of your valuable time. I know you're so busy. It's kind of good. New city council person comes in, council member-elect Miller, but the sad news is that we have a council person that's going to leave us, Councilmember Ewer. And why don't you grab your own, you just saw it right now, grab your own over here. She knows how I operate, so I'm going to make her talk a little bit, but she really guides us and is level-headed, and when we have tough decisions, she does the research and comes back and then gives me a call at 7 in the morning and says, okay, now what do we think about this? And that's the key. So I'm going to really miss you. I expect you to be back again, and that would be my wish for you, and you really inspired me, so thank you so much. So.
Thank you, Mayor. I was not expecting to do this, so thanks for that. First, I just want to say I have such an immense amount of gratitude and respect for all of you sitting up there, for our mayor, for the incredible city staff. This has been a truly incredible experience, and it's an honor to serve our community in this way. The experiences that I've had and the knowledge that I've gained from this experience is something I will carry with me forever. And hopefully I will be back in the future, and I do genuinely appreciate the kind words. So thank you all. Thank you guys for being so supportive when I was a newbie and throughout the experience. I appreciate you. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the great work. I'm proud to be a part of this community. Thank you.
Okay, you're excused. I always wanted to say that to a judge. All right, at this time, we're going to do public comment. It's a chance for our community to come up on any item except a public hearing item, and that'll be at the end, but on any other comments, you have limited to 3 minutes. So who do we have come up to the microphone? Just state your name and address for the record. Who do we have?
Hi, Sean Tepper, 545 Saddle Rock Loop. I wanted to thank you for temporarily disabling data collection on the flock cameras. I'm a little nervous they're going to be re-enabled as surreptitiously as when they first arrived, so please activate the free transparency portal so we can see 0 cameras are active. Olympia also disabled their data collection. They placed hoods over the camera, noting they cannot guarantee that Flock is not still accessing and sharing camera data. Because Flock, unlike all its competitors, has never allowed independent security analysts to test its cameras. Our city rents them and is not allowed to interact with the hardware. The city owns the data, but grants Flock a non-exclusive, worldwide, irrevocable, royalty-free right to use and distribute it. Flock accidentally revealed it hires overseas gig workers to label this data, including instructions to tag and label pedestrians and people on motorcycles. Flock holds a technology patent to identify and classify people based on physical characteristics, including race and gender. Our tax dollars and our very existence provide Flock with a massive amount of training data. The people who travel through this city have given no consent and have no way to opt out of this data collection. We store 30 days worth of searchable vehicle fingerprints, not just plates, but details on dents, roof racks, and bumper stickers for every vehicle in and out of the city, regardless of suspected crimes. This is way beyond LPR's checking hot lists. This is a Fourth Amendment violation. UW found the majority of Washington agencies using Flock gave indirect backdoor access to Border Patrol through a vague national lookup setting. During this time, Flock's CEO was publicly stating it granted federal agencies no such access. Wenatchee was one of only 8 agencies that provided front door access. The public records from July show we explicitly enabled one-to-one sharing with 190 agencies, including the unambiguous U.S. Border Patrol square bracket federal. In June, our network was searched 865 times by 42 different Border Patrol agents. Many searches appear to have been regional. Out-of-state agencies searched at least 65 times for reasons like immigration, assist ICE, and USBP investigation. Johnson County, Texas accessed our network with the reason, had an abortion, search for female. Our administration of the system was a public safety failure, placing people who live and work here at risk. Flock's dishonesty endangers many more. This is a company that provides letters to help municipalities avoid the competitive bidding process. There is a pattern of cities across the country making last-minute agenda alterations or vaguely wording consent items to install Flock cameras with minimal public awareness. This has resulted in the largest ever publicly funded,
Your
yet
3
privately
minutes
loaned
is up, so
mass
so can,
system. The city should remove these cameras and be done with Flock Group Incorporated. Thank you.
okay, who's next for public comment? Seeing none, we'll go on to our consent items.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda vouchers and minutes from previous meetings. Also, here, I'll read it. To accept the work performed by contractor Black Forest Foundation, Inc. In the amount of $135,735.46 for the city project SW 24-04 and authorize the mayor's signature on the final contract voucher. To also authorize the mayor to sign the right-of-way transaction document for the acquisition of property rights for the, how do I say that one? Ignacio and Galicia Badillo, necessary for the construction of the Crawford and Okanagan intersection improvements project, city project number 2320, and authorize the mayor to sign the right-of-way transaction documents for the acquisition of property from the Gonzalo Garbay, necessary for the construction of the Crawford and Okanagan intersection improvements project, city number 2320, and approve the resolution number 2025-24, approving the grant and loan funding award for the Washington Department of Ecology related to the funding of the Pershing Street Stormwater Retrofit Construction Project, and to approve resolution number 2025-42, reappointing Amicia, Fermengosa I apologize. Say again?
Check.
Furmancheck, as voting member of the Code Enforcement Board and to approve the resolution number 2025-43, reappointing Impama, Vermbar, and Susan Alberts as voting members of the Planning Commission.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hornby, a second by Councilmember Rodenstein for motion for the city council to approve the agenda vouchers and minutes from previous meeting to accept the work performed by the contractor Black Forest Foundation Incorporated in the amount of $135,735.46 for city project SW 24-04 and authorize the mayor's signature on the final contract voucher to authorize the mayor to sign the right-of-way transaction documents for the acquisition of property rights from Inicio and Janice Bandilo, necessary for the construction of the Crawford and Okanagan intersection improvement project, city project number 2320, to authorize the mayor to sign the right-of-way transaction documents for the acquisition of property rights of Gonzalo Garibay, necessary for the construction of the Crawford and Okanagan intersection improvements project, city project number 2320, to approve resolution number 2025-24, approving the grant and loan funding award from the Washington Department of Ecology related to the funding of the Pershing Street Stormwater Retrofit Construction Project. To approve resolution number 2025-42, reappointing Amika Forminski as a voting member of the Code Enforcement Board, and approve resolution number 2025-43, reappointing how do you say that? Sorry, I want to get it right. Anupama, thank you. And Susan Alberts as voting members to the Planning Commission. Thank you for continuing your guys' service. I appreciate that. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Is Linda there? All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll go on to our action items. Mr. Wacholder.
Mayor Poirier, council members, good evening. The subject of this action item is a collective bargaining agreement between the city of Wenatchee and AFSCME Local 846. In terms of declaring the acronym, AFSCME stands for American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. This is the collective bargaining agreement, again, between the city and the union, seeking authorization for the mayor to execute this contract. This collective bargaining agreement or contract is a 3-year contract beginning January 1st, 2026, and will run through December 31st, 2028. Union negotiations started at about early in September, and we met several times, and the union ratified the agreement the first week of December. In terms of the number of AFSCME employees, the city has 80 employees that are currently in this union. They're across multiple departments, from police, community development, parks, public works, finance. The management team that assisted with the city's side of this effort is Brad Posenjack, our finance director, Kim Oglesby, our HR director, Aaron Kelly, our deputy public works director of operations, Jose Morales, our HR generalist, and myself. And I do want to acknowledge the collaborative effort between the management team and the union. The union team was a cross-section of multiple departments. We had the union rep itself, but again, number of employees such as Jenny Rayson, the union president, who's in Public Works, Pablo Chivola, Public Works, Justin Smith, Public Works, Deb Sim, Finance, Jared Gardner, Parks. Again, this was a productive process, and everyone had mutual respect for one another, and so we worked through a number of issues. Nonetheless, here we are the union ratified the agreement. Now we're here before council for approval. Just a couple highlights. The previous agreement was 2021 through 2023. However, there was a mid-contract market adjustment of 5% in exchange for extending that contract for 2 years, so 2025. In terms of the fiscal impact, so in 2026, there's an estimated impact to the general fund of approximately $113,000. This is largely due to market adjustments for 6 positions, most of which are in the general fund, in addition to a 4% market adjustment. 27, the increase is, as noted in the agenda report, for the general fund is $207,000. This is largely due to medical coverage increases to maintain consistency between AFSCME and the police department contract, and as well as 2028 market adjustments and reworking of the wage schedule. As noted in the agenda report, these expenditures or costs are in addition to what's called the baseline contract, which is what was existing in the 21 to 23. And so these additional costs are what's above and beyond that is used as the baseline. And lastly, the general fund is singled out, and then there's noted as other funds, and these are the utility funds, enterprise funds, water, sewer, storm, as well as street fund. And with that, I'll be happy to entertain any questions that you may have.
So we're good for 3 years?
Good for 3 years, that's correct.
And it got approved. Their union
Yep,
voted.
union voted and
Voted.
approved.
It has to be a majority vote. Is that a correct statement?
Correct.
Yeah.
And this was approved at finance earlier today, and I went into greater detail in terms of proposed articles and changes, but
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to execute the collective bargaining agreement mutually agreed upon by both the city and AVSME union bargaining teams and approved by bargaining unit member vote.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Navarro Gomez and second by Councilmember Cuevas to authorize the mayor to execute the collective bargaining agreement mutually agreed upon by both the City of Wenatchee and AFSCME union bargaining teams and approved by bargaining unit member vote. Any other discussion, comments? Hey, thanks for working on this. I know it's been like 4 or 5 months, so appreciate you and the other staff that everybody got together and worked out the details.
yep, team effort for sure, yep.
Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Linda. I could hear you that time. All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. One correct statement, I should say, finance didn't, actually, I said finance committee approved it. I ran it by finance committee. So, thank you.
Chief?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd actually like to have our Guild President, Corey Fuller, and our Negotiation Director from the Guild, Steve Evitt, come forward as well.
Are they
Working,
gonna explain the jacket? No, I'm just kidding.
there's no explanation to the jacket.
I'm jealous of the jacket.
So, anyway, tonight we bring forward a request for a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to sign a collective bargaining agreement with the Wenatchee Police Guild that will cover calendar years 2026 through 2029. So a full 4-year agreement. This was an interest-based bargaining action again with the Wenatchee Police Guild, something we've established a very healthy relationship with, and keeping the lawyers out of the room to keep things a little bit more direct between employee needs and city's ability to provide. We met, I believe, on 6 total sessions. 6 or 7? Beginning in April with just kind of an opener and worked our way through to closing out the year. The financial impact is about $98,000 per year, increasing as we go across the life of the contract based on figures provided by finance. The goal is to provide a structure for effective work relations and pay for retention. The idea to keep officers 20 to 25 years whenever possible, help them maximize their retirement with the Left 2 retirement system while also making it possible to do what is often a difficult job in an environment and a location where cost of living is a little bit high for real estate in particular. So I gladly entertain any questions, all three of us.
How long was the negotiations on this?
We did approximately 6 meetings. We met in April and then not again until June or July, and then we finished out. Sessions averaged about 3 hours, but I think the last one was only an hour.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to sign the collective bargaining agreement with the Wenatchee Police Guild.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Ewer, second by Councilmember Hornby. For City Council, authorize the mayor to sign the collective bargaining agreement with the Wenatchee Police Guild. Any discussion or comments?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. And I also have the next item, an additional agreement where we're seeking a motion for city council to approve the contract between the Chelan County Department of Emergency Management and the city of Wenatchee for 2026 emergency services in the amount of $144,659.49 and authorize the mayor's signature. This agreement is an increase from last year's price structure, though the remainder of the contract is verbatim for the services provided by Chelan County. The price structure is determined based on a per diem rate, or excuse me, a per capita rate set by the State Department of Emergency Management, which was set at $4 per member of the community for 2026. And this is reflective in that $144,000 total.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for the city council to approve the contract between Chelan County Department of Emergency Management and the city of Wenatchee for 2026 emergency services in the amount of $144,659.49 and authorize the mayor's signature.
Second.
A motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Atkinson for city council to approve the contract between Chelan County Department of Emergency Management and the city of Wenatchee for 2026 emergency services in the amount of $144,659.49 and authorize the mayor's signature. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. HR Director.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. First item I have for action is a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the city and AFSCME to transition a new stormwater coordinator position name on the wage scale under classification A050, and that is moving from a stormwater technician initially. This change reflects the increasing complexity of stormwater regulatory requirements and ensures that the city operations remain compliant and effective. The revised position establishes a minimum qualification of a bachelor's degree, aligning the role and increased job duties with current and anticipated operational needs. The fiscal impact for the city at the top step for this position would be $7,319.52 per year. Can I answer any questions?
Just briefly, you go contact other cities. Can you just go, just quickly, how you come up with this?
I would need to defer that to Tom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think it's
this
good, just a refresher.
Yeah, and this is because this was negotiated before Kim started, so.
Okay.
Well, we have a set list of comp cities identified in the collective bargaining agreement, so what that entails is looking at those comp cities and seeing what their stormwater coordinator positions are and going in and reviewing job descriptions and of course the salary.
The keys, we don't pull it out of the hat.
Correct, yeah. And it's mutually agreed upon between the city and the union, so it's bargained.
Yeah. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to approve the contract between Chelan County Department of Emergency Management and the City of Wenatchee. Oh, sorry, asked me. I'll make a motion for City Council to authorize the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the city and AFSCME to transition the new stormwater coordinator position name on the wage scale under classification A050.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Rodenstein and a second by Councilmember Hornby for City Council to authorize the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the city and AFSCME to transition to the new stormwater coordinator position name on the wage scale under classification A050. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
I also have the next item. Next item is an action request for a motion for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-19, establishing pay ranges for temporary or seasonal workers for the 2026 calendar year. And this repeals ordinance 2024-30. The justification behind this is the state's minimum wage has increased for 2026 to $17.13, which requires us to increase the temporary and seasonal worker amounts. So that is, the compensation is incorporated already into the proposed 2026 budget. Any questions?
Nope, I think it just makes sense. So I would like to make a motion for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-18, establishing positions for moving up. Motion for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-19, establishing pay ranges for temporary or seasonal workers for the 2026 calendar year and repealing ordinance number 2024-30.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Navarro Gomez and second by Councilmember Hornby for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-19, establishing pay ranges for temporary or seasonal workers for the 2026 calendar year and repealing ordinance number 2024-30. I guess we better do what the law says if it increases it. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those, sorry, Linda. All those opposed? Motion carries. You have one more?
I've got one more.
All right.
Third time's a charm here. Okay, next item for action is a motion for the City Council to adopt ordinance 2025-18, establishing positions for regular status employment within the City of Wenatchee's management and administrative group, fixing the compensation to be paid for the 2026 calendar year. And there are two other items on this, which are amending section 3.3 of the employee handbook related to overtime and compensatory time. Also amending section 4.2 of the employee handbook related to vacation leave, repealing ordinance 2024-29. And to give a little bit more information on those two handbook items, those two items were negotiated within the AFSCME contract that we felt was appropriate to bring over into this group as well. And that is moving the maximum accrual of compensatory time will never exceed 48 hours, and that is bumping to 60 hours. The other item, the 4.2 on vacation leave, that is increasing the monthly and annual accruals for the 15 to 19 year classification. That's going from 15 hours to 16 hours monthly and 22.5 to 24 days annually. And then the 20-plus year classification is moving from a 17 to 18 hours monthly to a 25.5 to 27 days annually. Any questions?
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-18, establishing positions for regular status employment within the City of Wenatchee Management Administrative Group, fixing the compensation to be paid for the 2026 calendar year, amending section 3.3 of the employee handbook related to overtime and compensatory time, amending section 4.2 of the employee handbook related to vacation leave, and repealing ordinance number 2024-20-29.
Second?
We have a motion by Councilmember Atkinson and second by Councilmember Navarro Gomez for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-18, establishing positions for the regular status employment within the City of Wenatchee Management Administrative Group, fixing the compensation to be paid for the 2026 calendar year, amending section 3.3 of the employee handbook related to overtime and compensatory time, amending section 4.2 of the employee handbook related to vacation leave, and repealing ordinance number 2024-29. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Director David Erickson, how are you?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Doing well, thank you. So this evening, I'm requesting approval of two ordinances, 2025-16 and 2025-20, which would be two separate motions for those. 2025-16 amends the camping code, which is in City Code Section 6A 18140. Refines and clarifies the penalties section regarding providing proof of shelter space. 2025-20 is kind of a housekeeping item for the Arts Rec and Park Commission. Updates will be updating section 1.48020. Back when section was last updated, 2015, some things have changed in the department. At that time, we had a community center that we were operating. Now it's Pinnacles Prep, and we weren't operating the cemetery, but now we are operating the cemetery. So it kind of cleans those things up, as well as adjusting the number of members on the commission. We changed that a number of years ago in a different section, but failed to catch it in this one. And so that's what we have.
In our one, I'll make a motion for city council to adopt ordinance number 2025-16, amending section 6A.18.140 of Wenatchee City Code related to camping. Two, motion.
It has to be one at a time.
One at a time?
Yeah.
Well,
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Rosenstian and second by Councilmember Atkinson for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-16, amending section 6A.18.140 of the Wenatchee City Code related to camping. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
and I'd also like to motion for city council to adopt ordinance number 2025-20, amending sections 1.48.020 and 1.48.050 of the Wenatchee City Code related to Wenatchee Arts, Recreation, and Parks Commission.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Rodenstian and second by Councilmember Cuevas for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-20, amending section 1.48.020 and 1.48.050 of the Wenatchee City Code related to the Wenatchee Arts, Recreation, and Parks Commission. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Finance Director.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Brad Posenjak, the Finance Director. Tonight, the first item I've got for you is for council to approve a contract with the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce for a 3-year contract. As you know, the hotels around the city of Wenatchee collect lodging taxes on behalf of the city, and then the city uses those funds for tourism and promotion purposes, advertising and marketing of the city of Wenatchee. And part of this is we contract with the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce to provide the marketing services, the Visit Wenatchee brand, the destination marketing services for us. And our current 3-year contract is expiring at the end of the month. And so the Chamber of Commerce has proposed a new 3-year contract. And after staff reviewed it, we also took it to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee and the TPA Committee for their approval. They support it. The reason it's got 6% annual increases is because the prior 3-year contract it had 3% increases, annual increases, which we thought were a reasonable inflation rate at the time that contract was signed. But what we saw in the first and second year of that contract were inflation rates around the 5 or 8% range. And so these 6% increases should bring them basically back up to the current cost of living by the end of the next 3-year contract.
Your Honor, I will recuse myself from this action item.
And I have this motion, Your Honor. You ready to go?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll make a motion for the city council to approve the contract with Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce for a 3-year term, starting with a base of $515,760 and reimbursable marketing expenses of $450,182 for 2026 with 6% annual increase, and authorize the mayor's signature.
Second. We have a motion by Councilmember Hornby and second by Councilmember Atkinson for Motion requested for the city council to approve the contract with the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce for a 3-year term, starting with a base fee of $515,760 and reimburse marketing expenses of $450,182 for the 2026 with a 6% annual increase and authorize the mayor's signature. Did you already explain how the money?
Yeah.
Works,
The
yeah.
hotels, the local hotels, they collect the taxes and fees basically on behalf of the city. Those go to the Department of Revenue and then come back to us at the city. And then the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee and the Tourism Promotion Area Committees, they dictate or they recommend the uses for those funds. The uses for those funds include the convention center remodel, and also this contract here.
So it's already approved in their committees?
Yep.
Yep, got it.
Yep.
Any other discussion or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
My next item is the third amendment to the 2025 budget and the last amendment to the 2025 budget. As in the other two times, I try to explain that when we adopted the 2025 budget back in November of 2024, there are many items that pop up throughout the year that we did not anticipate in the 2025 budget. And according to state law, we have to stay within our budget, but state law also allows us to amend the budget throughout the year. So these budget amendments help us to stay within our state requirements and acknowledge that things pop up during the year, certain services that we want to provide or different contracts that pop up. So this is what the budget amendment does. All of the budget amendment items that are listed in the agenda packet, all of those have been discussed in detail at Finance Committee. And so unless you have any questions, that's what I got.
How many adjustments have there been throughout this past year?
We brought 3 ordinances for the 2020 to amend the 2025 budget. Well, this is the third one. But all of the different line items that have been adjusted, and it's probably closer to 25 or 30, yeah.
Because it's looked at every couple times a month. Not, you're looking at it every day, I understand, but as far as the
Yep.
finance committee's looking at it a couple times a month.
Yep.
They're getting it. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to approve ordinance number 2025-17, amending the 2025 budget as adopted by ordinance number 2024-28 and amended by ordinance number 2025-03 and ordinance number 2025-09 to revoke, recall, or decrease all or a portion of total appropriations provided and entering findings that this ordinance is in the best interest of the city.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Rojan and second by Councilmember Hornby for City Council to approve ordinance number 2025-17, amending the 2025 budget as adopted by ordinance number 2024-28, and amending by ordinance number 2025-03 and ordinance number 2025-09 to revoke, recall, or decrease all or a portion of total appropriations provided, and entering findings that this ordinance is in the best interest of the city of Wenatchee. Any other discussion or comments? Thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Glenn, you're up. What time is it? You don't have to look. Okay, no, it's perfect, because we have a couple city council. We're kind of rushing a little bit more today because we have a couple city council people that have to
We're
take
in
off.
second gear, yeah.
So you guys, I just want to, so that's the reason if it feels rushed up here.
Sorry.
All right.
But Glenn, you take your time.
I think that this will only take an hour, so
Nice.
Oh, perfect.
I have slides. No, I'll be brief. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Glenn DeVries, Community Development Director. I have before you a Resolution 2541. And what this would do would be two things that, well, let me back up. First of all, we have a contract with Andy Kotkamp. He is our hearing examiner for the city of Wenatchee. And he conducts quasi judicial hearings on land use matters such as conditional use permits and appeals. And we haven't amended that contract with him since 2018. He's contacting all his jurisdictions that he represents, and he's talking about two things. The first item is updating the fees. Our fees haven't been updated with him since 2018, so he's proposing to increase those from a base fee of $600 to $800. While that matter isn't before you, I included it in the packet, so I wanted to call it out to you. The main thing that is before you tonight, though, is the appointment of a hearing examiner pro tem. What that does for us, which we don't have as a service now, is if there's a conflict of interest where Mr. Kontkamp has to step aside, or if he can't be present, it creates a real problem for an applicant. We would have to go out and search for someone. It could delay a hearing for 2-3 months, which certainly isn't in the customer's or the public's interest. So we see this as a real benefit to the public and the community, adding this pro tem position. It is would be with Jay Eystone, who is in the same firm as Mr. Kottkamp. He currently serves in this position for 6 other Eastern Washington jurisdictions, and Mr. Kottkamp is amending all his contracts and proposing that everybody accommodate this so that there's, in case there's a conflict or absence, that there is this backup. With that, while it's not before you, we think the fee change is reasonable, and it hasn't been done in 7 years. But we also really like the idea of having a hearing examiner pro tem. We think it's in the public's interest, and believe that his training and would be is sufficient to serve in the position. And with that, we would recommend that you approve Resolution 2541, which will authorize the mayor to enter into these contracts for this amendment, and would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
So we'll have backup now.
We will, which would be greatly appreciated.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion for City Council to approve resolution number 2025-41, confirming the appointment of Jay Eystone as the hearing examiner pro tem for the city of Wenatchee.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Atkinson and second by Councilmember Hornby for City Council to approve resolution number 2025-41, confirming the appointment of Jay Eystone as the hearing examiner pro tem for the city of Wenatchee. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll go, not take a break, and we'll go to our public hearing. I will call this hearing, public hearing in order regarding the proposed amendments to Title 10 zoning of the Wenatchee City Code and the City of Wenatchee Capital Facilities Plan. Staff will first give their testimony, followed by give their report, followed by the public testimony. And we just ask you to say your name and your address for the record, and the public testimony will be limited to 3 minutes. Okay, you're up.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, Steve Neuenschwander with the Community Development Department. I'm presenting the amendments before you this evening that reflect the work of city staff as well as the Planning Commission for this year. Just a brief overview. So when we process city code amendments, that's a lengthy process, requires lots of steps, lots of notice that goes out to not only the public on our website, legal advertisements, but also notice to the state of Washington and all of those departments for the state. And so that's, we handle that every year to make sure that we're meeting our noticing requirements. So again, before you this evening are a variety of amendments. The first is to the Capital Facilities Plan. So the Capital Facilities Plan, these amendments are made annually in conjunction with the city's budget. This is a plan that includes a comprehensive list of projects and investments for capital projects and expenditures. For the city, for the next year, the funding comes from local, state, federal funding sources. So this would include plans such as our 6-year transportation improvement plan, the sewer plan, a water plan, our parks and recreation plan, and the expenditures associated with that. And so we review this plan annually as we look at the budget, updating those projects, updating the amount of money anticipated needed for those projects. And so that includes work from the Public Works Department, from our Parks Department, Community Development, and the Finance Department. In looking at that, updating graphs and charts and tables to match the city's budget. So that's all I have on the capital facilities plan. If you have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer those now or later. Moving on. So this year, we processed a handful of city code amendments. The first one is related to co-housing, and this is related to direction from the state of Washington. We are required by the end of this year to adopt into our city code co-living standards, or the state law would preempt and take our place. So basically, co-living is, think of your college days where you have an apartment or a house that has multiple roommates in it. You have 2 bedrooms with 2 people in each bedroom, or 1 person in bedroom. They're sharing a bathroom, they're sharing a kitchen. That's co-living. And the state of Washington, again, passed legislation that identified co-living as an affordable opportunity for alternative housing. And we already allow co-living as multifamily in the city of Wenatchee. We have projects that are employing this very approach, and that's so it meets our code. And so we wanted to make sure that we were compliant with the state law, add a little bit of our own approach to that. And so part of that is how we calculate parking, how we calculate density, and those are at far lower numbers than what you would anticipate, because you're dividing those dwelling units into rooms, and so that's the approach that the state has taken. So essentially, density is calculated at a quarter, and parking also at a quarter. So one dwelling unit would only, or 4 dwelling units would provide 1 parking space. The Planning Commission reviewed some amendments to our vocational and trade schools. So currently, any education function that's either a school or is an institute of higher education. And we allow institutes of higher education in our in some residential and commercial zoning districts. So think of here hair salon schools, beauty schools, up to our any trade school. And the way that the city code is currently written, any of those trade or vocational schools are listed as a higher education, require a conditional use permit before the city's hearing examiner. The change that is proposed is a new definition for the vocational and trade schools to create their own land use category, and then identify in the zoning, again, where, for example, if I want to do a hair academy in our central business district or North Wenatchee Business District, those are called personal services. They're outright permitted. In order to do an education, in order to teach somebody how to cut hair, you have to get a conditional use permit. So part of what we want to do is reduce some of that process and allow folks, if they're cutting hair and they want to teach, then they need to get the appropriate permits, of course, but rather than getting an additional land use permit, they're outright permitted in those zoning districts. There's some proposed amendments to outdoor storage. So right now, the city code already regulates and manages how large outdoor storage is happening. It is scattered throughout the zoning code, and each of the zoning districts have a section on outdoor storage. This is really an attempt to focus in those standards in one place, and really looking at the storage of large equipment, bulldozers, dump trucks, large trailers, piles of materials, and making sure that we're reviewing those and that those are appropriately located within zoning districts. as well as screened as much as possible from public view. So that's what this code accomplishes. The ongoing look at our comprehensive plan, again, as we are looking to the future and making sure that we have adequate land for residential properties, our mixed-use zoning districts, their primary purpose is for providing a variety of housing, providing a mixture of retail, office, and medical. Secondary to that are some limited industrial uses, light manufacturing, as well as that upper floor office and residential. And so as we looked at the comprehensive plan and looked at the types of uses that are allowed in many of these mixed-use zones, we allow mini storages, boat storages, the outdoor storage, hazardous waste processing and recycling facilities. These are really intense commercial and uses that once you go into that, they don't transition out. And so the Planning Commission looked at this year in limiting these types of uses within these mixed-use zones that are really intended to be buffers between commercial and residential, and so removing those uses from the zones. And then, as our commitment always to the council and to the Planning Commission, the community, is our zoning code is a living document, right? We implement codes, we identify that sometimes things don't work or that we've missed something, and so we did a lot of corrections this year, changes this year for continuity, for clarification, and a lot of it is really just connecting the right sections and making sure that we're reading correctly, and making sure that our codes are not precluding or prohibiting infill from happening. So, for example, on the right side under ADUs, we have some exceptions for, development can't occupy more than 50% of a rear property. If we want houses and ADUs or infill townhomes, they're going to have to occupy more of that rear property line. So again, identifying those barriers, coordinating heights of ADUs and other structures, so making sure that what you can build as an ADU can be built as another type of housing. We spent some time looking at monument signs and simplifying the standards for signs, creating essentially two categories of monument signs, those that are less than 5 feet tall, going through some simpler standards, and then signs over 5 feet tall still have requirements such as a base and specific types of materials, distinction between the base and the main sign, and then a framing element. So these are all in our current code now. This is simplifying. What we've seen over time is that what we adopted was difficult to implement, and we were getting a lot of requests to deviate from the sign code, and so this is a response to that trends that we were seeing. And then some general code cleanups. Theaters were defined twice in the code, once as their own as theaters, and then also included in the definition of indoor recreation commercial. So cleaning up that and just leaving theaters as the indoor recreation commercial. So that would be similar to bowling alleys, arcades, and theaters would fall under that. And then finally, swimming pools. The zoning code and the building code both regulate the life safety as it relates to swimming pools, but unfortunately they are not in alignment with each other. The zoning code requires a taller fence than the building code, and so that was creating some problems. And so as we were talking with our inspectors, what would be the easiest, they said it would just be the easiest to implement the building code. That allows more opportunity to create protect life safety. And so the proposal is to eliminate regulating fences around pools from the zoning code and simply relying on the building code. Any questions?
We had an email about consider removing the requirement for co-living open space if you live within walking distance of a public park. Is that considered, or?
Sure, well, of course, we absolutely consider all, public comment that comes in. As we looked at At that one particularly, co-living, you're putting more people in smaller units. At least the conversation with the planning commission is, multifamily requires you to have some open space on your property. And if you're putting more people, you should have that open space still. And so we, of course, considered it, and that may be revisited, the question of open space with our comprehensive plan update. But under this circumstance, we felt that it was appropriate to still have that open space.
I just appreciate the approach of trying to make it less burdensome, looking at complications that you're having with our residents and trying to solve those. So I appreciate that approach. Code enforcement and getting through some of this is burdensome at best, and most of the regulations are pushed down on us from the state, and we're just required to implement them. So thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question as it pertains to the outdoor storage.
Yes.
Trailers was listed on there. Is that in reference to travel trailers?
So that could be equipment trailers. Travel trailers would most likely fall under a mini storage or some other store. Most likely is how we do mini storage is someone wants to do outdoor like RV storage. So we have either boat storage or mini storage. So we would have a different standard.
Storing your trailer on your property.
So this would not apply
Okay.
to that. This is only in commercial and mixed use
Got it.
districts. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Any other questions right now? We'll get another chance here in a
Yep.
second. Okay, I'll turn it over to the public testimony. I know we have a couple people in the back. You guys can both come up at the same time if you'd like. No, you both have to come up at the same time if you'd like. You're both from the school, come on. Bring them up here. All right.
Pete Jelsing, here resident, 2503 Lester Road. I just want to share my support for the Title 10 zoning amendment. This amendment will help in the expansion and modernization for the Wenatchee Valley Tech Center. Okay, this benefits high school students in our area who are here learning about trades and moving into those careers and industries. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
Make sure you stay separate.
Hello, my name is Matt Piano, 2301 East Crestline. I am also voicing my support for Wenatchee City Code and Title 10 zoning and the capital facilities plan as well. I just want to say thank you really to Glenn and your planning commission department for working with the district. So I think this is a great piece for, as Pete mentioned, for the tech center and kind of building that trade school build out. And yeah, thank you again, and thank you to everyone here for working with us on this.
Anybody else? Seeing no other takers, I'll turn it over to staff if they have anything else to say. If they don't, that's fine. Or do we, city council, have any other questions?
No questions. I just want to make a comment. I want to thank you both for coming tonight to share your support of it. It's really important for us to hear directly from those that are impacted. So thank you for sharing tonight. That's really helpful.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to, public hearing on the proposed amendment to Title 10 zoning of the Wenatchee City Code and City Wenatchee Capitals Facility Plan is now closed. And I'll turn it over to the city council for any action they'd like to take.
Can I make a comment at this time, or do you want to wait till after a motion?
Go for it.
Okay. So since we are also adopting the capital facilities plan, and you notice on page 18 of that, it talks about pavement preservation, and I didn't want to pass up an opportunity. So in that particular section, it notes that current revenue allocations are 40% of the needed funding for pavement preservation. The PCI in that document, it shows it at 67, but Street Saver, which is what we use to constantly update where we're at, we're actually at 63 right now. And the thing that really concerned me was that 26% of our streets are now classified as poor or very poor, and that number is going the wrong direction. They note in this document that back in 2016, there was a citizens committee appointed by the council to evaluate the pavement management program and recommend the level of investment. And I think we need to enlist that help of our community again to help us determine a way forward. The last sentence of this document deals with pavement preservation, where it points out that the funding shortfall, and it goes on to state, the City Council continues to pursue other sources of revenue to fully fund the pavement management program. And so to that end, I want to again ask us that we schedule a work session and discuss this important topic, perhaps in the context of overall budget priorities, but I think this deserves our attention.
I agree with everything Charlie just mentioned. These are our arterials. This is how we get to work. This is how we play. This is all of those things. And when they start falling apart, it affects all of our lives. So I think we need to spend some time with it.
Thank you for your comments.
Do you want a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you're asking Mayor?
I'll go for it.
I was like, yes, I do. No, but I also agree with what was previously said. But, Your Honor, make a motion for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-21, adopting findings of fact and conclusions of law, and amending Title 10 of the Wenatchee City Code pertaining to zoning.
Second.
We have a motion by Council Member Rojan-Stan and second by Council Member Hornby for City Council to adopt ordinance number 2025-21, adopting findings of fact and conclusions of law and amending Title 10 of the Wenatchee City Code pertaining to zoning. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
We have another motion, Your Honor.
Yes.
Motion for the City Council to approve resolution number 2025-46, amending and restating the City of Wenatchee Capital Facilities Plan.
Second.
We have a motion by Council Member Hornby and second by Council Member Ewer for City Council to approve resolution number 2025-46, amending and restating the City of Wenatchee Capital Facilities Plan. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, I have a couple of directors that are going to help me with my mayor's report. We had a couple of things, but before they get to it, you have your sheet there for next year's committee assignments. If you can just, we're just through a couple things on there now, but this, just email Tammy if you're interested in staying on some of them or other ones, and just kind of so we can get something put together for the beginning of next year. And so that's just something for you to take home and take a look at and respond back to Tammy when you get a chance, or myself. I had Councilmember Harold reach out to me on a couple things. So, Glenn, do you mind going first? Yeah.
My topic is mobile vendors. A couple weeks ago, we had some business owners.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, thanks. A couple weeks ago, we had business owners come in and stated some concerns about what they observed as far as potential unpermitted mobile vendors operating in the evening. So we took some notes and we sent code enforcement officers out in the evening, and we did find several that were operating without authorization. We're working with those folks and the landowners. We do require what's called a mobile vendor permit. It's a land use permit. It costs $100. Really what we're looking at, life safety, access, parking, impacts for sanitation, signage, things of that nature. And so we do have a process. One thing we found, though, in working with these folks is that we could do a better job of education. So we have a packet that we developed, and we're just putting the final touches on it. And we're also going to translate it into Spanish and work with folks on that. So we encourage folks to talk with us if they're interested in that use. Our goal is to educate. Yes, we do enforcement, but ultimately we want folks to be successful in their business. So any questions on that?
I'll just make a comment. It's educate and I call it ease of business. So one of the things that Glenn came up with was like, we'll just have an area and you can circle the area that you want. And it's that idea, we're not trying to be a hinder. We're trying to just get people in compliance, not trying to take a ton of money so they can't survive. We just want them in compliance. So that was really a cool thing to have them come here.
Yeah.
It was a big issue for me. I know a couple council people reached out to me. Glenn just grabs it, takes it. Our code enforcement people, they don't have to work night. They say, yeah, we'll work, we'll do the right thing for our city. So that's the kind of team that Glenn's, I know, thankful that he has. So I appreciate all that work. Quick. It was like literally the next day. So, that we want to keep on encouraging people to come to us and to get through those barriers and make it easier.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Glenn.
Thank you for the education piece especially. I really appreciate you guys looking for those barriers, breaking them down. I know language was a challenge for some of those vendors, so thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
Tom?
A brief update. Good evening once again. Just happy to share that the city was awarded a $410,000 grant from the Washington State Transportation Improvement Board to upgrade all the ADA ramps on Orchard Street from Miller to Western. And so speaking of pavement preservation, this is a big win for the pavement preservation program because with the city match, this is a $500,000 project that will be able to upgrade the ramps using mostly grant funds, because normally the pavement preservation funds would need to be used to upgrade ramps. So it's nice to see that pavement preservation funds will go into the street, and so just a good project. Just happy to share this.
I'll turn over to the city council for any updates they have.
Okay, I can start. One of the things that I wanted to mention is, again, I just wanted to celebrate Finance Committee. We talked about budget projections, and it's looking a lot more positive than we initially thought, so thank you for all that work. Kudos to our whole city staff and team. Thank you, Brad. Also wanted to share, we met with the Chelan County Solid Waste Council. For those of you that don't know, we have a waste wizard that we're paying into. A lot of our community members maybe don't know where they need to go throw stuff away. So we've invested in this partnership where people can go into our website and they can log into Waste Wizard and just put in refrigerator, old washer, and that will tell them exactly where they can take these items and dump them. I know a lot of times education is always important, so that's one of the things that I wanted to share. And also, our city is doing a really good job with the BOMA. The BOMA is the Business Organics Management area, and essentially a lot of our businesses, we are recycling and getting rid of our organics in a positive way. There's some new legislation, and our Chelan County Solid Waste Council is going to be applying for a waiver because now that is going to be, as of February, essentially our city is supposed to have a plan for how we're going to get all of our housing units to get rid of their organics. So just know that there's more to come. I believe that we're going to have someone from Chelan County Solid Waste Council join us and just kind of help educate us more on what is going to happen. But at this moment, our city is going to be applying for a waiver. As of end of February, it'll be available, and hopefully that will give us a little bit of time just to kind of build some perspective. The nearest place where we could take all of our waste is either Warden, or we used to have Stamilt, but that is shut down, so we can't really take our organics there, or Quincy. So we're buying some time while we figure out what we can do, and our team has already been working with Waste Management. That is it. I know it was a lot, but important information.
Our last junior city council meeting, Jake and Emma came and gave an overview of the engineering department and the comprehensive or community safety action program. So it's a good meeting, and we're moving ahead.
Not much. WDA finalized their work plan for the year, and New Year's Eve party at Pybus Public Market, open to the public, free. The police department has come down for the last several years. We'd love to invite them to come and celebrate with us for a little while again, and that's all I have.
Nothing to report.
Okay.
Nothing to report. I
Last
already
time.
spoke. It's my last time. My last time. I'll miss y'all.
You too.
Nothing to report, but I just want to say that I'm really thankful for our city staff, our directors, and every personnel that works for the city of Wenatchee. I'm really thankful for all you do. It's almost end of the year, and this is our last session of the year. I'm really thankful for what's happening out there, your professionalism. When you guys show up to work and you clock in, most of the time I see what you guys do, and it's a lot of work. A lot of people don't see that, don't appreciate that, and if you haven't heard from us or a lot, it's coming from my heart. Thank you so much for what you do. And I want you guys to enjoy this beautiful Christmas. Happy New Year's coming up. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
All right. This is the next legal
Linda?
part.
Does Linda
Oh,
like it?
Linda. Councilmember Harold.
It'll be at 3 p.m. in the Wenatchee City Council chambers. Also, I just want to say that I don't know if any of our staff or council members attend the Labor Relations Institute for Association of Washington Cities, but it will be held in Wenatchee, May 6th through the 8th, 2026. It is confirmed on Wednesday. So
That's
I'm
exciting.
excited for that. And Chelsea, I'm really, really gonna miss you on the council. You've added so much to this team, and just be really proud of yourself because you're amazing. You're just totally amazing, and thank you for all you have done.
Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Councilmember Harold. We didn't hear some of the stuff, but Tammy's going to have it out for us here so we get everything too. But we definitely heard the positive things about Councilmember Ewer.
You heard the important stuff.
We heard the important stuff.
With that, Your Honor, I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays,
Merry Christmas,
everyone.
everyone.